will accept what I say, some dismiss it. I'm talking about the gift of salvation really given. He's living, walked on this earth, set free, nailed to the cross, shed the blood for you and me. He arose from the grave and he conquered death. Gave us the Holy Spirit on the day he left. He shed his blood for each and every one of our sins. Not worthy of his grace, where should I begin? Don't worry about a thing, I keep my faith in him. Renew my mind, take a look at where I've been. I'm a sinner and straight up lost since day one. God loves us and gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have life everlasting.
Your color don't matter no way, cause you're going to hell if you ain't saved. I don't wanna hear no more bit of time out of chatter. It ain't about black and white, lost souls matter. Color don't matter no way, cause you're going to hell if you ain't saved. I don't wanna hear no more bit of time out of chatter. It ain't about black and white, lost souls matter. I don't think you understand the severity in this, so I'ma speak clearly so that you don't miss the opportunity to get saved, cause time's close. You know deep down God loves you the most, but Satan got tricks and traps in place to catch you, to keep you from God's face. Got you all out of sorts and acting all crazy. Child of the devil like Rosemary's Baby.
I see you tearing down statues and burning down buildings, but I'ma keep it real, we ain't all God's children. Cause some don't like the Bible and some be God hating. See, I'm a child of God, but your father is Satan. God's waiting for you to change your ways and repent of your sins. Do it now so you won't regret not doing it today, because heaven you'll be missing and end up in hell because you don't listen.
Your color don't matter no way, cause you're going to hell if you ain't saved. I don't wanna hear no more bit of time out of chatter. It ain't about black and white, lost souls matter. Color don't matter no way, cause you're going to hell if you ain't saved. I don't wanna hear no more bit of time out of chatter. It ain't about black and white, lost souls matter. Color don't matter no way, cause you're going to hell if you ain't saved. I don't wanna hear no more bit of time out of chatter. It ain't about black and white, lost souls matter. Color don't matter no way, cause you're going to hell if you ain't saved. I don't wanna hear no more bit of time out of chatter. It ain't about black and white, lost souls matter. Color don't matter no way, cause you're going to hell if you ain't saved. I don't wanna hear no more bit of time out of chatter. It ain't about black and white, lost souls matter. Color don't matter no way, cause you're going to hell if you ain't saved. I don't wanna hear no more bit of time out of chatter. It ain't about black and white, lost souls matter.
It is fair to say things won't go back to truly normal until we have a vaccine that we've gotten out to basically the entire world. We should be and are and will be making a universal corona vaccine. To me, that's the best long-term goal.
Yeah, it's like Night of the Living Beast says, you know the case. Got people walking around with masks on their face. Do everything you're told by Dr. Bill Gates. Take the vaccine, filled with enzyme luciferase. And manipulate and twist our feelings and thoughts, making us believe every single thing they taught or tell us. We're hypnotized by TV. Media covers our eyes so that we can't see. Certificate of vaccination, ID 2020, you're the mark of the beast. They keep telling us that just when this thing will increase. Fake numbers poured out of the air, to say the least. It's a setup, tear it all down, then rebuild. They don't care how many people that they might kill. On the way to the goal to complete their mission, put us under one man to sin, son of perdition.
We got snakes in the grass, rally through the high pass. Traps all laid out, avoid the bomb blast. Some say that the words that I speak are too crass. Watch yourself or get led down a path. A broke glass, the sick and disease world is giving me a rash. Evil deep in the hearts of men. The love of cash got people in power, robbing us without a mask. The fake holy father and the satanic mask. Corrupt politicians, money-hungry leechers, ravenous wolves dressed as pulpit preachers. Bad songs pumping out your headphone speakers. Already weak and you're only getting weaker. Young minds indoctrinated by teachers, while humans are less valued than wild creatures. We speak the truth, but it's so hard to reach her. Powerful words will make meek mills meeker. Snakes in the grass, plus the love real fast, and our freedoms are gone away. Can I use guns to attack, drop behind the back? Manipulation is the play. Meaning us spreads on the clear, like that's all we hear. Put the mind like a ball of clear. None of us chose to react, but the sick relapse, and now we're slaves to them today. Every day a new law
laws passed because the South break no mistake as they take our freedoms away. We getting raped, they're shutting down each and every state. By the time you notice it, it's way too late. We share the wrong fate, ignorance is bliss. Showed us everything and laughing at the clues we missed. You getting pissed? I doubt it cause you're still asleep. Intrude in every part of our lives is so deep. No shootings involved, no bombs and no planes. Just a little bit of words to make you all insane. Quarantine yourself, got you locking up your doors. National Guard is coming to help fight the war. It's a shame you're so blind and can't see truth. Nobody told us anything, it's your excuse. Invisible combat because they can't see it. But you are the enemy, you better believe it.
The snakes in the grass pass along real fast and our freedoms are gone away. Did not use guns to attack, but behind the back manipulation is the play. Media spreads on the fear and that's all we hear. Put the mind like a ball of clear. None of us chose to react, but instead relax and now we're slaves to them today. The snakes in the grass pass along real fast and our freedoms are gone away. Did not use guns to attack, but behind the back manipulation is the play. Media spreads on the fear and that's all we hear. Put the mind like a ball of clear. None of us chose to react, but instead relax and now we're slaves to them today.
Hello guys, welcome. Here you see me on the camera, but I'm going to change that in just a minute somehow. I don't have the scene for it. I'll find one. You can look at me for a minute. Hey, but while you're looking at me, I want you to listen to my friend here. His name is Sean, but he also goes by the name of Ninja Scroll. He's here to say hello.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
They say, We're good, man. We're good. Thanks for asking.
I don't have the chat on. I'm not looking at the phone or nothing like that, so I can't see if you guys are talking to me or anything. But I'm sure Aaron will relay the message.
Yeah, well, especially if people have questions as they come on. Oh, I just lost him somehow. I'm going to call him back. Everybody just hang on for a moment. It could have been me. Calling. Calling back.
Computer just shut down.
Oh, but you were able to answer. Thank goodness. Yay.
Yeah, it shut down. And I booted it back up, and here I am.
And he's back.
Yes, I'm back.
These are small potatoes. But anyway, I wanted to introduce how I found you. I'll just make it quick. But when I started getting back into, well, the Lord, our Lord and Savior, Yahusha HaMashiach, right? I didn't know anything about discernment. And I was listening to a lot of really bad music, really, really bad music. And I started to realize I needed to be in a bubble. For a time, I had to be. I just had to get rid of everything around me. And I had to change everything I was listening to. And somewhere along, I can't remember the day or the moment, but somewhere along the way, I found Destiny Lab. And now, first I was listening to a lot of hip hop like Andy Mineo. We can talk about things like that. Andy Mineo and Lecrae and, some of these other guys, some of their names are escaping me anymore. But I was really just listening to a lot of what would be Christian hip hop, like the Social Club, Misfits, guys that are signed on to labels, right? Or like Lecrae supposedly made his own.
Like Bizzle and stuff like that.
Yes, I like Bizzle. He's one I do like. But some of these other guys, we can talk about that maybe later. But the point is as my spirituality started to mature and I found music like from Destiny Lab, I realized, wow, this stuff is like what I need to hear. This is real truth, scriptural music. And then you did a song with Destiny Lab called Truth Sickness. And and Ark always talks about you when he gives shout outs. And so I finally subbed to your channel, started listening to your stuff, and then we found each other on Facebook. And here we are.
Yeah, I'm glad we did. I'm glad you did that because it got me to look into your stuff, and you opened me up to some new stuff.
So I don't do interviews, like it's more like a fireside chat, but I'm interested like how you got started into music, period. Like where did it all begin, from age 2 or 15 or what?
Wow. I started like I guess rapping and stuff back in high school. I don't know, ninth, 10th grade, 15, 16 years old. Me and a couple guys, a couple guys in the hood, whatever. And we started from there. And then I guess I must have been about 5 years doing that. We did some tours and stuff like that, going around the Philly area and Jersey, South Jersey area. And then from there, we kind of broke up. Everybody went their separate ways, except for me, except for me and this other guy named Donnie King. Me and him still talk together. But after that, I started just hanging out, doing my own little thing. And then I met up with a guy named Hooks and Traps. His real name is Lamont. But Hooks and Traps, he was with the Zoo Ninjas. And the Zoo Ninjas are part of Wu-Tang Clan. So me and him started talking, and I was making beats at the time for myself and for other people. And he liked my beats, and he said, "Why don't you let RZA from Wu-Tang Clan hear some of your beats?" And he took me up to New York, and we went up there, and I let RZA hear some beats, and RZA was all over him, like, yeah, he wants to get down on some stuff. So then I ended up meeting ODB, and he put me down with the Zoo. Hold on, my dog's barking. He put me down with the Zoo Ninjas. He said, you wanted me to be their beat maker, so I became their beat maker. And then I became part of Wu-Tang Clan from there. So for about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years, I did shows with Wu-Tang Clan and made beats for the Zoo Ninjas. I produced one of their albums called Now Justice. I did, I think, 9 tracks out of 12 or something like that on that album. And we started on another album, but the group ended up breaking up because we were about to sign. Of course, money always gets in the way of things. And me, I wasn't like real real into the hood type thing, but the rest of the Zoo Ninjas were. They were really like in the hood stuff. So I was more on the business side of things. Me and the manager, Jamal, we were more on the business side of things. So when it came time to do contracts and stuff like that, one of the ninjas, K Blunt, decided he wanted to go one way, and me and Jamal decided we wanted to go another way, and we ended up breaking up the group. So the ninjas dissolved. I think that must have been like, I don't know, 2001 maybe, that we dissolved. And then from there, I've just been making music on my own. So, but that's pretty much the sum of it.
But there's got to be a story here somewhere where it changed from that. That must have been a very secular world, I would think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when did that change from doing secular music to the truth music?
Well, I was doing my own thing for a minute. I was out there in the world still. I've always been born again. You know, I got born again. I became born again and believed in Jesus Christ. I say back when I was 8, 9 years old. You know, I was raised that way, but I wasn't just raised that way. It was more of I accepted Jesus Christ to be my savior. You know, so I got saved back then, but I never really lived my life the way I was supposed to live it. You know, like most of us backslide and don't live the way we're supposed to live for Jesus Christ. So after messing with the Wu-Tang Clan and doing shows, we were everywhere. By the way, we traveled all over the country with those guys, and we did all kind of crazy stuff, shows everywhere, and hung out with superstars and all kind of madness. But after dealing with those guys and doing my own thing for a minute, I guess about 5 or 6 years after that, I started looking into things, seeing what was happening with the world. And then around the time when Obama got elected his first term, I started looking at things like, what's this all about? You know, and seeing everybody going crazy over him and thinking everybody calling him the Antichrist and all kind of stuff in that. So that's when I really woke up right there. That's when I really became awake and started looking and then started reading the Bible and getting more spiritual with the Lord than I was. And that's when I really say I became saved. Even though I accepted Jesus Christ, I never lived my life the way I was supposed to live it. I never lived for him until now, you know? And so I started looking into the Bible and reading the Bible more and praying more and getting a relationship with the Lord. And that's basically what happened. You know, it took for something drastic like Obama becoming. And to me, that was drastic, because just watching the way everybody was all oohing and awing all over him, and they were standing out in the cold, and you know, when he got inaugurated, and standing out there in the cold, and it was freezing out there, and millions of people out there, and people in Kenya and all over the world was Obama this, Obama that, and teachers teaching kids Obama songs and all that stuff. I was just like, is he the Antichrist? You know what I mean? It kind of made me just look and dig deeper and get into the Bible to make sure that I wasn't left behind and I wasn't in the end times, which we are, and we were then at the same time. But you know, I just became more aware of things, and it brought me closer to the Lord, and that's how it all came into me making this type of music that I make now.
That's phenomenal. I was looking at you've got 10 years stuff from 10 years back on YouTube, and I'm such a newbie when it comes to YouTube. I just had my 3-year anniversary, and I felt like I was even late to the game. Have you ever had any of your videos pulled down from YouTube for what you're saying?
You know what's crazy? No. And I say some crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't believe that the one song I have, "Woman You a Woman, Man You a Man." I mean, I'm just straight up saying it.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe
and I got videos of it and pictures of the transgender people and what you are, and I express what the truth is. I'm not expressing what my feelings are in that song. It's the truth. It's science. It's biology. It's what you are. It's what you are, and the proof is right between your legs. The proof is I say a dime is a dime and a quarter is a quarter, and a black and the skin in them in is evidence.
Yeah.
It's a fact, and the way that I feel is irrelevant.
It
You know
should
what I'm
be.
saying?
It should be.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how I feel. I'm a African American. I'm black. I'm Negro. Whatever you want to call me. Brown skinned. I can't be a white woman. I can't be a Chinese small dude. I'm not that. I don't care if I feel like I'm Ninja Scroll, so I should feel like a Japanese, Chinese, Japanese ninja. That's what I should feel like, right? But no, I can feel like that all day, but I'm not. Doesn't matter what you feel like. So I'm like you were saying, I can't believe. I always say to myself when I make songs, and I say words that I know are like buzzwords or YouTube. I always say, how is it that they don't catch this stuff? And maybe because I don't have a lot of subscribers, because I just got 1,000 a couple months ago. After 10 years of being on here, I just got 1,000 subscribers.
So you're certainly shadow banned at the least.
So I don't know what it was, if that, or maybe just people just don't dig my music. I don't know. And if that's the case, that's what it is. I don't care. It could be that the music that I have is a little too harsh, because I've been told that it's too straightforward and too smack you in the face. It could be that, or it just could be people just don't like like you said in some of the comments, people don't like hip hop music. People don't like rap music. And I don't know, whatever it is, but it doesn't matter. I'm not here to please people. I'm not here to do anything but spread the word. And if you don't want to hear the word, then don't listen.
I have put your links in the description box, and I have offered to give out prizes for anyone who reads the description box, and only one person has ever tried to redeem that prize. So hello out there. There's a description box below this video if you didn't realize that, you guys, and it's got all his links, but I've also pinned it in the chat. We do have a question. It says, does he, meaning you, know the meaning of the song Gravel Pit? I don't know the song.
I never, who sings that? I never heard that song, Gravel Pit.
No idea. That was a question. Well, he'll come back to us on that. Dean just subbed, so thank you, Dean. And Genetics wants you to know that he wants to collaborate.
Oh man, he ought to know already.
It's past time of throwing it in the chat. It's time to get together and collaborate, because you know what? I'll tell you that I think that now I hope Genetics and Ark don't get upset about this, but the collaborations with Destiny Lab are probably my favorite songs of all time, because I like having the different voices in there. I mean, I love Destiny Lab by itself. I loved them so much I had to know who they were. Like I was telling you, I don't think I said it live. When I heard Destiny Lab, I'm like, I got to know these guys. And I said I got stalker on them. I was like messaging them from Patreon, messaging them from email, messaging from Facebook, any way I could get a hold of them and be like, I got to know who you are and I want to make videos for you. But I love the collaboration, because now because it was hard for me. I had to stop listening to a lot of music and try to find music that was worth listening to. And that was hard for me. I'm going to ask you how that's affected your life, but it's hard for me to find music that was worth listening to and leave all that other stuff behind. And I didn't want them. I mean, I love Destiny Lab, but that can't be the only, I lost him again. Hey, I was going to say it can't be the only band I listen to. So some connection problems, stick it out. Oh, apparently Wu-Tang did that song. Must have been after he left anything that they had a part of. Please hold, I'm calling back. Lord, we pray against the technology demons that are trying to shut this down right now. Calling back.
Keep refreshing my computer or something, because he keeps shutting off.
I'm also thinking, I just prayed while I was calling. I was like, Lord, I'm praying against these technology demons, because the guy
never happened. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm just sitting here, and maybe I got to keep moving the mouse or something.
I guess maybe you just
to keep it alive, because it just keeps shutting right, and the battery's full. It's plugged in, so I don't know what that is all about. But I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
Oh, I was just saying that I needed to find more than just one group to listen to. I was just listening to Destiny Lab because I liked hip hop and rap. That's what the genre I like. Whether people like it or not doesn't matter, because that's what I like. And so to hear the collaborations was neat, because I started as soon as Ark was telling me who all those people were in the collaborations. I'm like, I tried to go find them. Not a lot of them don't have YouTube channels. They don't have anything that I can find. So I'm glad that you did. The guy that asked the question about the song Gravel Pit said it was Wu-Tang that made it, and I think it was a more recent song, maybe in the last 5 years or so. I'm not even sure.
I haven't heard if it was recent. I mean, if it wasn't back in the 90s, yeah. I don't know it.
Did you ever hear of it?
Because I like you, I stopped listening to all that stuff. Once I stopped dealing with them, probably like 98, maybe 2000.
Yeah.
2001
this song
or something
would be
like
newer
that.
than that.
Yeah, well, that's when I stopped hanging with the Zoo Ninjas, And you can go look them up, and you can see. I mean, you can verify all this stuff I'm saying. I'm in there. I mean, actually, somebody actually did an autobiography of all the Wu-Tang Clan members. I'm in that book, and I'm also on their webpage, Wu-Tang Family. You'll find me in there, and I'm on Zoo Ninja's website. But I mean, I'm not trying to. I don't have to verify anything. It doesn't matter to me. if you
Right, because
believe
that's
me or
not your claim to fame. Like that's not what we want to know you as, especially
Right.
people in my circle. Not like, oh yeah, love, because they're very graphic.
Yeah, they are. They are. And you know, it doesn't, like I said, it's not about who I was with or anything. I'm not trying to throw names out or anything. I'm just letting you know my story and where I came from,
Well, it's
because
important.
you know, it's part of me. And I was into the bad stuff. I was a drug dealer. I was doing all kind of crazy stuff when I was with them. I mean, I was moving heavy weight. I was doing all kind of stuff. And I wasn't a good dude. And I know the Lord brought me out of that. And Jesus brought me out of that and out of that life and into a better life. And that's when I woke up right then. Not just to the stuff that's going on in the world, but you know, like I said, I started living my life right. And I plan on, with his help, to stay that way. I'm not going back. Ain't no looking back.
That's how I feel as well, because you can't learn some of these things and go back to that. It doesn't even make sense. Do you remember the Clips? Do you remember
Clips,
those
no.
guys? So
No.
one of them, I'm gonna look him up because one of them is still a secular artist that you will have heard of. Pusher T, you've heard of him?
Yeah, I heard of Pusha T, yeah.
So his brother went by the name of Malice at the time. They are brothers,
Mhm.
and they broke up because Malice said, "I'm not doing this anymore." He said, "I'm not doing it anymore." And the only reason I bring this up is because you mentioned kind of like a moving away separation, and it was a big
Right.
deal to people when these guys split up. They were started in 1992. They had a manager that went to prison because of the drug dealing these guys were all into. And
Mm.
Malice, you don't hear about him because he found the Lord.
Right.
And I tell people, I'm like, when you get these people that say they've come to the Lord, you're not going to keep hearing about them, and they're not going to be big time anymore if they truly did find the Lord, in my
Right.
opinion. What do you
Yeah,
think?
you're absolutely right. That's how the game is played. I know a lot of these cats in the game. I do. I know most of the Wu Tang Clan. I know cats. It's one guy's name I can't really say because his name it's Shorty Shit Stains. He's from New York. I know
Lovely.
that dude. I know Buddha Monk. I don't know if you ever heard of Buddha Monk, but Buddha Monk did the soundtrack for that movie. Shoot, what's that guy's name? Dude, Diamond Phillips is in it. It's a Hitman movie. I can't remember the name of the
Gosh,
movie.
don't know.
But yeah, he did the soundtrack for that. I know a lot. I know like Big Pun and all them cats when Big Pun was around. Um, but yeah, so I'm only saying that because I know what the game is about. The game is about, you know, you play their game, you get the fame. You know, you don't look at DMX. You know what I'm saying? That's a prime example.
Oh
You don't
yeah.
play their game, you get shut down, or you don't get out there at all.
And I would say like a lot of these people, whether they know it or not, these big time, in what they would call themselves as Christians, are still signed on to the same labels as the secular
Yeah,
groups. And I don't know if
yeah,
they know that or not.
but they know, and they do songs with them.
Oh yeah,
I've been
they
I've been
do.
appro- I've been approached by secular artists to do songs, and I can't, and I say I can't because you know I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to be associated. I'm not linked with darkness. I don't say that part to them, but you know I basically say, you know, we don't think the same way. We don't have the same beliefs, and I can't. I can't put myself out there next to K Reno because K Reno doesn't believe that Jesus Christ is God. He believes he's what do you call it? A prophet. You know, he doesn't believe he's God, and I don't think he even believes in God. You know, like I've been approached by him. I've been approached by Payday Monsanto to do songs, but these are like mid-level guys. I'm even a bigger level guys. We've all been approached by them. All of us at Wu Tang Clan and the Zoo Ninjas have been approached to do separate projects, but it's things that I just can't do. I can't make beats for them. I don't want to be associated with them. You're not gonna have my name associated with that lifestyle anymore.
Well, for instance, like Lecrae, who is supposedly a Christian, and I say supposedly because I did an expose on him. Have you heard of the Boule?
Yes.
So I've done several Boule videos, and he's in one of them because I was actually kind of personally offended because I used to listen to his music, and it was one of the first things I got into in supposed Christian hip hop. But he does this collaboration with Ty Dolla $ign and says, "Oh, I'm just bridging the gap. I'm trying to reach these guys," and I'm like, I don't think you are. I don't think
No.
that's really what you're doing here. I think what you're doing is going where you've always been intending to go, because he went to a school. He was a Kappa, just like Colin Kaepernick, and these guys that get involved in these Greek fraternities, there's something to that, because especially when it comes to the Boule and the secret society stuff, and the fact that he's the same. I did a whole video on. I won't try to go into it, but the point is I don't think they're bridging a gap and trying to reach secular artists
No.
with Jesus.
No. And the Bible talks about us being yoked with being yoked with darkness, what do we have to do with darkness? Like, why are we yoked with darkness? Light and darkness should not be yoked together, and sitting at the table with mammon and stuff like that. And because most of the time, once you become yoked with darkness or yoked with unbelievers, you more than likely will fall into their way of living before they fall into your way of living. 9 times out of 10, you'll be drugged into their way of living. So we're not supposed to be unequally yoked. And that's not just for marriage. A lot of people think that's just for like marriage and relationships. That's for life, period. We're supposed to be separate of the world, out of the world, not in the world, not of the world. We're not supposed to be part of the world. So when he talks about us being unequally yoked, that's what he's saying. It's like unequally yoked, period. Not just a marriage thing, not just a relationship thing with a man or a woman, but friends, all that. I had to learn that in the last few years, because I've been dealing with trying to help certain people and do certain things with people that weren't born again, and I ended up falling. I almost fell back into selling drugs. This was like 2 years ago. I almost fell back into that, trying to help somebody that was on drugs. And I'm starting to see all the money that I was missing that I used to make. And that lifestyle is a tempting lifestyle. It is. Not doing it, selling it. Because there's all types of temptations, especially for men, to when you're out there doing it. And I had to break free. I cut all ties with these people. And it's like I said, it just recent as 2 years ago. I said, look, I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to show them the way that God, a way of God, and trying to reach them. And all I'm doing is getting pulled into their world. And I had to get out of that. And I thank the Lord that he gave me the strength to do that, because it wasn't hard. It wasn't easy to break free from that. But yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to talk so long. I'm just
I
excited.
love that you're talking. This is honestly, I'm not doing this so that I can talk a whole bunch, because then I can talk a lot. But we want to hear what you have to say. And by the way, if you're here and you haven't hit the like, please do that. If you haven't subscribed, you can hit the pinned comment at the top, and you can subscribe to Ninja Scroll's YouTube. He's only got barely over 1,000 subs, and he needs a lot more, because this is somebody that's willing to speak truth in our music. And I push this even at the gym with my friends, and I'm kind of like, until people get to know me, they think I'm a nut job, right? Because I say we got to stop listening, and they think these songs are all just fine. They think stuff like Salt and Pepper and whatever else they're playing, Highway to Hell, that kind of stuff, that's all just fine. And then I'm like, but if you hear the lyrics, like, oh, well, I don't really listen to lyrics. I'm like, you gotta listen to lyrics, because it is so important what they're actually saying in secular music compared to what you're saying, and compared to even the Christian artists. Like secular, at least we know what they're doing. We know. But these Christian artists, oh my gosh, it's just appalling what they're willing to sign off on and to say to just get a record deal. And they'll say it's not for a record deal. They just want to speak the truth. And probably at some point in their career, that was absolutely true. I'm sure it was. But there comes a point when you sign on to a label that's the same label. It doesn't take much research to find out those labels are the same as every secular label, and they own you now. And if you don't even got to be like Lecrae, oh, I made my own label. Baloney. Somebody was behind that too. But
And it's not his label. You can say you have your own label all day, but somebody is above you making decisions.
totally.
And the game, you can't do what you're doing in this game. And Jay-Z is probably the only one that can do something like that, because he's Jay-Z and he's been in the game. He's 50 something years old. That's how long you got to be in the game to say something like that. You ain't Lecrae talking about you got your own label and thinking that you running stuff and because somebody's above Lecrae, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And they're telling Lecrae what he can and cannot say. And like you said, these people when they sign their contracts and they're on labels with other people, they're doing it because the money is there. It's about money. And I got a song called "You Love Me." Go check the video out if y'all haven't. It's called "You Love Me." It's a crazy looking black lady as the thumbnail, and it's all about money. I am money in that song, and I'm telling you that you love me, and I'm telling you I'm the root of all the evil in the world. Your love for me is the root of all the evil. And everything, just think about it. Everything that we do is the love of money that creates all of this evil. And when you listen to the song, you'll hear me say, "You'll do this for me. You'll do this for me. You'll do this for me. You'll do this for me." And I just go all the way through there. And it's like, wow, you start thinking, that's what it is. It's the love of money. So when these guys see these contracts and they get millions of dollars coming out of the contracts, yeah, they're going to say, okay, I'll sign it because they'll say, I'll sign it, but right now because I need the money, but I'm going to try to, keep my Christian views going over here, but I'm going to sign this over here. And like I said, you end up going the other way. You end up going the opposite direction you want to go because 9 times out of 10, you get pulled back into the world. That's why in the Bible, when, I'm trying to think of who it was, but he told them, I think it was Joshua, he told them to go down into the Canaanites and destroy everything, all the pictures, everything. Don't leave nothing. Even little babies, don't leave nothing, or Chaldeans or whoever it was in that story. But they were told to go down there and destroy everything. And God said, don't leave any image, anything at all, cattle, nothing of theirs. And they ended up leaving some stuff. They ended up taking some idols and stuff and ended up worshiping their idols because they kept part of that world. You have to separate yourself from the world. We are not of this world. We are aliens. We are ambassadors of this world. We're not from here. I don't feel like I'm from here. I feel like I'm on an island somewhere and there's nobody around me. I feel alone because I want to be alone. I don't want to be a part of what's here. And none of us should.
You make a good point with the money because it's pretty easy to fall into, admittedly, I tell people very honest stories about me. And I was dating a guy about 5 years ago and on my path to knowing the Lord. And you can say, oh, well, you weren't on the path. Anybody can say what they want. But I know I was on the path because I was breaking free of these kind of people, breaking free of this kind of life. And this was a kind of a final straw that what am I willing to actually give up in order to think that I'm going to have the comforts of life? Am I going to, it was, and I don't mean give up for the Lord. I was like giving up things that I shouldn't give up, like for a man. And this guy said, oh, I used to make money dealing drugs, and so I want to go back to that. And I was like, well, okay, just don't do it in my house, right? And the next thing you know, it's in my house. And the next thing you know, he's taken $600 from me, gotten a car rental in my name, and parked the car rental somewhere trying to get back at me for some reason, stole the money, was never going to pay me back, and had been cheating on me the whole time. And the interesting thing is I'm sitting here, literally have like gone back to church, like totally turning over a new. Now you don't change 180 overnight. I hope everybody knows that. You just don't. This is in this moment where I was like, what am I doing? Like, how did I let this into my house? How did I let this happen to me? And it turned out to be one of the best things that could have happened to me because that was the moment I was introduced to gold and silver. If I wouldn't have been introduced to gold and silver, we wouldn't be talking about anything right now because I didn't know about money. I didn't know the truth about money. And it was almost the same day where the guy's like, I've been cheating on you. I'm done with you. Click. And I'm like, oh my gosh, fine. So interestingly enough, just to tell the whole story, because he was breaking the law and on parole or probation or something, I don't even remember which, the FBI can supposedly find anybody anytime, right? And they were, they were supposedly looking for him, and I was able to find him because I got into his email, and I changed all his passwords to his phone and everything.
Wow.
And I started pinging the phone, so I knew exactly where he was. And I called the FBI. I go, are you really interested in finding this guy or not? And they were like,
apparently not, because you found him before they did. It's like looking for Bin Laden.
it was who was a CIA agent, obviously. But it was a very interesting story because when they went and picked him up in Nevada, in a whole nother state from I'm in Montana, I asked the police officer that was in charge of getting him was calling me and contacting me, and I said, so is he mad? And he goes, nobody looks really surprised. I was like, yeah, well, the FBI didn't really care. So the point being, just to finish the story, was that was actually a really big turning point in my life because I was like, how did I let this into my house? I've got little babies back then. They were like 2 and 3 years old at that time. I'm like, how did I allow a man like that to come in? It's like you said, because I saw dollar signs. I saw that he was bringing in huge amounts of money. And I had another friend in Bozeman who was selling marijuana legally, mind you, but it was, he brought in $10,000 in green bills, and I'd never seen anything like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this really is where the money is at. And especially if it's something it's something you knew in one way or another, right?
Yeah.
How easy
Definitely.
would it be to get back into something you already know how to do?
That's the problem. When you, like you said, when you're around that, it's like being a drug addict and being around heroin or somebody that's doing heroin or somebody that's smoking crack or whatever. Even if you're free from it, let's say you try to get off of it and you got your methadone, you went to the methadone clinic and you got off or whatever, but you don't want to be around it anymore, because if you're around it, you're going to be, you're going to want it, and it's the same thing with that lifestyle. I'm telling you, and you've been through it. You've seen it yourself. When you see somebody that has the money like that and you want that money, you want to be part of that, and you can't. If it's not done right, if it's not, done properly, done the right way, legally, not just legally, because legal is just another word for man saying it's okay. That don't mean it's all right. You know what I mean?
Maybe lawfully is the right word. Lawfully.
Yeah, maybe lawfully, maybe. I would say if it's not biblical,
yes,
then don't do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
If it's not biblical, you shouldn't be doing that.
Correct.
That's just the way I see things. But being unequally yoked with somebody, it can go two ways. They can either, like we were saying, it can either go your way and it can come to the Lord, or you're going to go towards them. And 9 times out of 10, you end up going towards them.
So, okay, when you decided to start doing this kind of truth music, which looks like about 10 years ago at least, and you said the Obama kind of era, how did that affect your friends and your family and the people around you?
I got divorced. Yo, for real. Cause it was crazy. Cause I remember when I first started researching, I will never forget this. I was up for like 12, 13 hours from 8 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning. And I couldn't stop. I was looking at the Forerunner 777, his videos, and all these other YouTubers with truth stuff out here. And then I started going on Googling stuff and pulling this up, and Disney started popping up, and I'm like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is this? And what was that? And it was about, I don't know, 10. Well, how old was I about then? I don't know, 30 something, 40, maybe. I don't know. But it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. I'm like, all this time I've been lied to, and I'm thinking about my mom and dad there in Virginia, and I'm thinking, I'm like, they didn't tell me none of this, but they don't know either. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why they ain't tell me, because they don't know. So I'm going nuts. So it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I run upstairs and I wake my wife up out of bed and I start shouting stuff. This is going on and this is going on, and this is blah, blah, blah. And she's like, what is wrong with you? And right then is when the divorce wheel started turning her head. And then when I started getting my kids together, I have 6 kids. And they were all younger at the time. My oldest must have been, I don't know, 16, 15 or something. I can't remember. But anyway, we all started getting together, and I started reading the Bible with them. And that's, like I said, I started getting to the Bible more. I started getting more closer to the Lord. And I started reading the Bible, and we started having Bible studies like every other night. and praying together. And I'm like inviting my wife, like, come on, come. She's like, no, I don't want. I'm okay. And then every time we started reading the Bible, she would come in and interrupt us and start talking other stuff. And I'm like, why you keep? I know that's Satan working. You know, I know that's what it is. But I'm like, we're trying to read the Bible and we're into it. The kids are into it. They're enjoying it and they're learning. And you got to come in here and start asking them about school right now, or asking them about a math test that they had right now, or asking them about whatever right now. When they were sitting over here for 20 minutes doing nothing, you know, and so that's when the wheels started turning. And
It's that Jezebel spirit.
Next thing I know, she was like, I don't know, about 5 years later after that, we toughed it out, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same after that. You know, I could see that it was different. I was moving away. I was moving in a different direction than she was. I was going towards God and she wasn't. And I don't think she was ever born again in the first place. So right then I was already wrong for being unequally yoked. But that's when I started seeing it. You know, I started seeing like, you know, I want to get more into the Bible. I want to start going to church. I want to start, you know, praying more together as a family and becoming the family that God wants us to be. And she wanted to live in the world. She wanted to go out with her friends. She wanted to go drink and party and all that. And so she ended up doing that stuff. And then she started coming home drunk and coming home late. And next thing I know, she was like, I'm out. I didn't leave her. She left me with all 6 kids.
And do you talk to your kids today?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Right now, only 2 live with me now because the other ones all moved out. You know, they're grown now. One of them is 29, one of them is 26 or 25. One is, remember I got 6 of them, so it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. I got 5 siblings, and I don't remember how old they all are. And I have to kind of sit and do the math and remember.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing that in my head now. I don't know, they're like 29, 26, 25, and 2 twins that are 22. And my youngest is 18. So right now, my 25-year-old, I think she's 26, and my 18-year-old live with me, and everybody else moved out. So yeah, definitely. They all live around the same. We all live in the same area right here in Lindenwold. We're all around each other, which is great. And they come over here all the time, and they always call me for advice. I love that. I love that they know who to go to. I'll put it that way. They know who's going to give them godly advice and who's going to give them worldly advice. So that lets me know that, you know, I raised them the way they're supposed to be raised and the way that God wanted me to raise them.
And so friends, did your friend situation change too?
I'm not a friend guy. That's the good thing about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't have, like, I have people that I work with. When I used to coach football, I coached what do you call it? The midget football, and then I coached semi-pro football, and I had coaches that we hung out, you know, wanted to practice with, drove to practice with. Sometimes we go out and have dinner together, go to coaches meetings. I never really had like friends. Now, my brother, I have 5 brothers and sisters myself. Is it 5? It's 7 of us. 6 brothers and sisters myself. I'm the 7th one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So my brother Jeff, if you see, he's on Facebook, you'll see him all the time putting stuff up. Jeff Walden. He is probably more awake than I am. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, this dude, yeah, he was telling me stuff before I started rapping about the stuff. He was telling me stuff, and I was laughing at him. You know, he was telling me all kind of stuff what was going on. I'm like, man, get out of here, man. You know, and then once I woke up to everything, he was one of the first ones I talked to. And he was like, yeah, I was telling you. I said, yeah, you're right, man. I'm sorry for, you know, laughing, whatever. But so we've been on that journey together, me and him. And my sister, Angie, she's kind of awake. Most of us are born again believers, Bible believing Christians. Most of my brothers and sisters, I think there's like one of them that says she is, but she's living so worldly that, you know, you know them by their fruits. So I put it that way. I don't know her heart, but I know how she's living. And I know it's not the way that she should be living. And it's not like it's something that started and, you know, and it's not a short period of time. This has been going on for years and years and years. She's been living like this. So, you know, I can only say from what I see is that she doesn't look like she's saved, and I pray for her all the time. But as far as friends go, I don't really have friends. My friends are on Facebook. My friends are you. You know, my friends is Destiny Lab. My friends is Praying Manus. My friends is Joshua Hunter, Joshua Laurie. You know, all y'all cats out there on Facebook and all them people that like listen to my music, I don't consider none of y'all fans. You're not fans to me. I don't look at that like that. You're friends to me. I need y'all support, and y'all need my support. We need each other's support. We're gonna need everybody support when these times start getting rough. We're gonna need each other. You know, it's not about making music so I can get people to recognize me, and that's why I don't be doing stuff. You know, I don't like showing my face. Every now and then I put my face in my videos every now and then because some people ask me to or want to see, you know, who's behind the voice or voice is, because I do different voices in my songs. But you know, it's not about that. It's not no glory to me. All the glory goes to the Lord, man. All glory to God. I don't want the glory. I don't do shows. I used to do shows back in the day and have girls throwing panties at me and stuff like that and sleeping around and all that. I used to do all that stuff. I don't want that no more. It's not about me. I don't want that glory. All glory to the Lord. All glory to the Most High, Jesus Christ. Bottom line. So I don't consider nobody as fans. I consider everybody as my brother, my sister, my friend, because that's who I need in my life, and they need me in their life, and we need each other in our lives. And nobody's smarter than I'm not. I do research. We all do research and stuff like that, but that don't mean I'm smarter than anybody else. It just means I just took time to pick up a pen or open up a book and learn something. So together, nobody's smarter than the other one. We all in the same boat. We're all sheep. We're somebody's sheep. Some of y'all are Satan's sheep, and some of us are God's sheep.
Mm-hmm.
But we're sheep.
What a good way to put that. I wanted to drop a link for my Discord in the chat for everybody else, but that's why I created my YouTube channel. I didn't know it. When I created it, I wanted a different reach when it came to gold and silver, because I mean that blew my mind. Talk about a paradigm shift was learning about money. Had no idea about money. And I learned that, and I was like, everybody needs to know. Like you, when you woke up your ex-wife, I'm like, everybody needs to know this. So I'm going to make a YouTube channel, and there's already a lot of people that know it, but it was so exciting to me. I'm like, it's only fair that people know, because somebody brought me that information. I got to share that information. And in my very first video, I even said, I don't know what this is going to turn into, but I think the Lord's in control, and it's going to become whatever he wants it to become. And look what it became. It became like this massive, for a while, it was this massive research. It started out just gold and silver this, gold and silver that. And then it became this massive rabbit hole research project where I was doing editing productions and digging up research. I couldn't have even fathomed learning some of these things. And every time I learned something, I had to make it a video. I'm like, oh my gosh, this has got to be a video. I've got to tell people about it. And in my life, it's not, I've cut out, so I've changed my phone number I don't change it anymore, but for a while there, about 7 years ago, I had to change it 3 times because I had to cut so many people off. And
wow.
And my friends and family would joke like, what's your phone number now? Because we don't know it anymore. And I had to do that. Like I told you before, I had to put myself in a bubble. I had to push all these things away, but it had to happen over time because I still kind of let that stuff trickle back in. But basically, anyway, the channel turned into, now I talk about crypto because, hey, we don't need to sell drugs to see dollar signs, you know?
That's right.
Because this is the where everybody wants to go. Everybody's interested in cryptocurrency.
Yes.
I have prayed about it, and I love what people say about the research I've done and the productions I've done, and I'll pray some more, but I feel like very strongly that the Lord said, you're there. You don't need to do these big productions anymore. And by the way, Destiny Lab is in, oh gosh, can't talk. Destiny Lab is in the house. Yay, Art.
Yeah.
So
What's up, Art?
He missed all the shout outs in the beginning. But anyway, what I feel like I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to talk about cryptocurrency and money again. I feel like it's supposed to go back to where it started. The point is I completely relate with what you were saying about how you just wanted to tell everybody. As far as my family is concerned, I don't have born again family, and I wish I did. So if you guys all think about it, if it comes to your mind when your prayers, I have 5 siblings, and they don't know the Lord. And I used to want to impress them and show them how much I've changed and be like, look, I'm not the pain in the rear that I was the black sheep. I was the youngest. I was spoiled. And so I did whatever I wanted and got away with it. And that hurt me in my life. But instead of like looking at my parents as part of the problem, and then realizing like I've accepted my part, they've always blamed me. And they still to this day, we don't really have much of I've sent them, I had one sister, she's amazing. She majored in editing videos and movies, and she wouldn't help me. I asked her, I'm like, could you help me learn to do this stuff? She didn't want anything to do with it. In fact, I guess I angered her when I sent her the stuff I did start doing editing on. And then I had a brother that when I told him I no longer sought his approval, turned into a huge, massive blow-up fight. And then I have a sister who isolates herself on the East Coast and doesn't have anything to do with us. And anyway, see, I told you I can talk just as much. So.
That's all right, man. You know, we here to talk. We ain't here to.
This is our fireside chat, man.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that as I've gone down this trail, I no longer do need to impress them, and I don't need their approval. And I'm just glad that I've learned who God is and who our Savior is, because when I was 20 years old, not growing up with the Lord, I saw a video, and I didn't even know that Jesus was scared and praying that this cup would pass in the garden. Didn't know. I thought it was just easy for him. I thought he just made that choice. It was no big deal. And for me to learn that, and I didn't build a good foundation yet, but for me to learn that was that metanoia, that true change of my heart going, wait a minute, there's something more to this, and I need to know. And then to get that truth later, I'm 42, so okay, it came a little late in my life, but I'm not dead yet. So what a great time to get that truth. But as far as friends, I have about 3 in real life.
See, I'm the same way. Like I said, I don't have friends that out here. Like I'm not gonna get off of this chat right here and be like, all right, I'm gonna go see my man. You know what I'm saying? No. That's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go to bed. You know, and I'm off work tomorrow, so I'm gonna hang out tomorrow. My best friends are my 2 dogs. No lie, my 2 dogs, Zeus and Beatrice, are my 2 best friends. My kids, of course, my kids, they keep me going. My brother Jeff, I don't speak with him that much because he has his own life. My kids have their own lives, but they come over and see us and hang out. We have family get-togethers, cookouts and stuff like that. But my dogs, man, I have a roll-out bed. I roll my bed out on the floor. I sleep. They sleep right next to me on the bed, on top of me. I'm like part of the pack. I'm the leader, but I'm part of the pack. You know what I'm saying? But that's how that works. So where I go, they go. And I know when I come home from work, they're there. Hey, dad, or pack leader, whatever they want to call me, I'm right there. You know what I'm saying? And they happy to see me, and I'm happy to see them. I sit down, I get me a little soda or a bottle of water, whatever, Gatorade, and I sit down and I turn on some TV, I turn on some music or something, and I'm just chilling. That's my night. I don't have friends that I call up and be like, yo, let's go kick it at the club, or let's go to the bar, or let's go see a movie. I don't do that. I'm a home guy, and I like it like that because it keeps me away from the outer worldly stuff. It keeps me out of that, and it keeps me grounded, and it keeps my mind and my eyes set on the Lord, man, on Jesus Christ. I swear to goodness, I just can't. It's like I'm sitting on the edge of my seat right now, waiting for this next chapter to happen, because I know what's coming next. I know He's coming, and I can't wait. I'm just anticipating, like many of you are right now. You're on the edge of your seat, like, well, they just go ahead and do what they're going to do. Whatever you New World Order freaks got going, do it. So I can get out of here. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at right now.
Oh, gosh, apparently I have a daughter that's puking. So we might have to shut this down a little early. Real quick, I wanted to ask you, I want to ask you this before we go. Peter Birdsall says you need to do a collaboration with Destiny Lab. He already did, called True Sickness. And just tell us how you met Ark, and then I'm going to deal with the sick child.
Let me shout Peter Birdsall out real quick, because he called me the other day, and I didn't get a chance to call him back. But call me up, man. You got my number, man. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? And we'll talk. I know me and you were supposed to do something for a minute, and we both been busy. I know you got your store you're running, and I'm out here running my business and all that, so it's not easy. But I met Ark kind of like you did. I wasn't stalking him like you though.
Oh well, I got the job done that I wanted to get done.
But I kind of I don't know. I think I hit him up on one of his videos or something. I can't remember. No, I think I was doing Freedomizer Radio at the time. I think I was either on I was doing Freedomizer Radio. I was doing I was one of the hosts on Freedomizer Radio. This is back in the day. And I finally reached out to them to have them come on as a guest. That's when I first talked to Ark, was when he came on as a guest with me at Freedomizer Radio. And we had a blast, man. And we talked and we exchanged numbers and I was like, look, I want to collab with you on some stuff. And he heard some of my music. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And we ended up getting that song True Sickness together maybe a year later after that or so. And we just blew it up, man. And we always been tight. We don't, like I said, I don't get on the phone and talk to people. I'm not a phone cat. I don't like talking. And Peter Birdsall will tell you that because he can talk. My man, Peter, you know you can talk, man.
Well, apparently you can in the right circumstance.
Uh-huh.
We can in the right circumstance. We can talk, but yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm on the phone, I just want to get off, you know. And he'd be like yapping, he'd be going. So anyway, that's how I met Destiny Lab and Ark, and we collabed on that one song, True Sickness. Go check it out on his site, on my YouTube, either one, don't matter. Go check out the video. But that's how we met.
That is awesome. And I hear from the chat that there should be more collaborations coming soon, because I know Genetics is saying the same thing, and Destiny Lab, Ark, wants to do more. And they're talking about the other guy. Oh my gosh, Lord help me.
Praying Mantis?
Yes, Praying Mantis.
Yeah, you gotta get him. You gotta look him up. I don't know if you ever heard his stuff.
I have, but he doesn't have a lot.
I did a collab with him too, and they did collabs with him too. All of us need to do a collab together. I think it would be insane, with all our different styles and the way we come at different things. I mean, that's what I love about Destiny Lab and Praying Mantis, is we all think the same but come at it a different way. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, I'm a little more hood, a little more street. You know what I'm saying? Destiny Lab is a little more intellectual, and Praying Mantis is a little more English.
Yes, which I like. That's fun too, because it makes a nice different sound. That's why
I love
the
different vibe on it. And I love and he's intellectual too. You know what I'm saying? So when we come at it with those different angles like that, it really makes a great mesh of music and different styles with the same philosophies, coming at it with the same point of views and the same religious views and the same, not religious views, but beliefs. You know what I'm saying? It's just banging how we just get together like that. And I love my brothers, Destiny Lab. I love my brother, Praying Mantis. I love my man, Seven Sandman. You know what I'm saying? We all need to get together and just rip something real quick, just so that we can just, blow people's minds with it.
By the way, and I'm going to tell you, as a person that loves those collabos, we need more, and I look forward to all that. I'm so sorry to cut it short. I don't know why one of the kids is sick, but this is what it is. I'm a single mom. I'm the only one doing it, so I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to thank everybody for being here, and hit the like if you haven't, share if you're willing. And since we got to cut it short and we're just getting the gist of who you are and everything, will you come back again on the show?
You ain't got to ask me that, man. You already know.
Okay.
You already know. I love you, man. You are a strong sister in the Lord, and I love you for what you do. And I want to thank you for letting me come on here and just yap like I've been doing, because I say I don't like to talk, but I can.
And I appreciate it. And thanks for understanding why I got to run. And thanks for everybody else for understanding. And so I'm going to let you go. I love you and appreciate you. And blessings to you. We'll be talking soon.
All right, God bless.
Good night.
I'm here live right now from this incredible turn of events. It seems an outbreak of some sort is happening. While we have heard rumors of a virus apocalypse or vast zombies that would attack. And this is something entirely different, folks. People are literally transforming before our eyes into something new. Infected with what they're referring to as the Holy Spirit.
There's a virus that's been passed to the masses, growing contagious so that billions now have it. It's a disease without a cure or a serum, and there's no need for a vaccine or injection. There's no inoculation. I hope you all get it, that you spread it to your loved ones and friends. Get sick with it and give it to the kids who share it with their friends, and bring it home to mom and dad and on again. It's a plague that can save you from sin and deception. I pray it invades and reshapes your vision. I play with these antonyms followed by synonyms, speak parables and awaken those listeners. listening. Wage spirit battles in the hearts of all doubters. Gathering seeds, shouting louder and louder. Reaching out, branching to all populations and planting the truth to cause transformation. What you're hearing is contagious. We got a sickness whose symptoms include a relentless pursuit of the truth. This infection is infectious. We warn you now, you listen at your own risk. What you're hearing is contagious. We got a sickness whose symptoms include a relentless pursuit of the truth. This infection is infectious. We warn you now, you listen at your own risk.
Used to call me Black Plague, but all I ever do was spread truth and not death. Put knowledge in their heads, try to suppress me. With medicine called the media, change up the history books. Wikipedia lies, they be feeding you, be making you sick. Truth serum is the only real fix, and I'ma spread it all around like ticks. Spread the Lyme disease, contagious like germs every time that you sneeze. In the air that you breathe and portrayed in your lung, have the truth rolling off your tongue. This war has just begun, won't stop till the battle is won. Light of the world just like the sun. I'm a virus infecting the minds of the lost. Wake them up to the truth at all costs. Gonna spread all over the planet, cannot be silenced. Antichrist is the ultimate violent tyrant.
What you're hearing is contagious. We got a sickness whose symptoms include a relentless pursuit of the truth. This infection is infectious. We warn you now, you listen at your own risk. What you're hearing is contagious. We got a sickness whose symptoms include a relentless pursuit of the truth. This infection is infectious. We warn you now, you listen at your own
let's
risk.
critically think about the world that we live in. From the beginning, we've been lied to and tricked into sinning. The devil really thinks that he's winning. People bend morals and values to fit in. A truth that's so spread all over the land. Been derailed by the God of this world. From the plan, let the truth be told. It's time we take a stand. Spoon-fed lies from the media's hand, but they're soon gonna find for real. Like it or not, can't see anything in your views. A blind spot you forgot while you sit on the side. The world rots. This song is like smoking on medicinal pot. It's the cure for I don't wanna know syndrome. You don't care about drones flying over your home. FEMA got America split up in 10 zones, ignorant to the truth that the Bible's shown.
What you're hearing is contagious. We got a sickness whose symptoms include a relentless pursuit of the truth. This infection is infectious. We warn you now, you listen at your own risk. What you're hearing is contagious. We got a sickness whose symptoms include a relentless pursuit of the truth. This infection is infectious. We warn you now, you listen at your own risk.
The symptoms include an overwhelming sense of